All right, let's begin day 5 of the obstacle course strength and conditioning program. You're gonna begin with a warm-up / cooldown. So actually, you'll do this routine twice before and twice after your obstacle course circuit to follow. So, and this is going to be 10 seconds for each of these positions. The first one is going to be a hollow hold. So keep the small of your back on the ground, lying on your back, and then you're going to crunch up so that your shoulders come up, and then raise your feet off the ground, and even try to rotate so you tilt your hips so your legs come off the ground here. You can raise your arms out here to make it more difficult, or by your side, but really trying to flex your abs as much as you can in that position. Next, you'll do an arch hold, which is pretty much the opposite, where you're going to have your belly down, keep your lower abdomen on the ground while you flex your butt to raise your legs and squeeze your shoulder blades and tuck your chin back to raise your upper body off the ground. And you can come into this overhead position as well on this. Keep your feet together. And then next you have some lateral leg lifts. You'll just do 10 seconds of this while you can lie your head back, keep both your toes pointing straight ahead, and then just lift your top leg off the ground. Really try to feel it in the outside of your butt here. You'll feel that pinch. You won't go that high, but really try to feel that pinch each side. And then the last one is going to be a reverse fly hold. So I can be standing for this one in a hip hinged position, and then I'm just going to squeeze my shoulder blades out to the side like this, not shrugging or rounding, but keeping my shoulders back and down, stick my butt out, and I'm just going to hold this position for 10 seconds. Okay, let's do the obstacle circuit for day 5. You're going to have, like 7 movements, and the sets will vary each week, but for instance, the first week is going to be 3 sets, and it's going to be, for the first week, 10 repetitions of everything, but that's varied as well. So we'll start with some mountain climbers, 10 each side. It's going to be 10, whatever number each side, if it's a double-sided movement. Palms down. Keep your shoulders down, one foot's up like this, and the other foot's back. There's going to be some crawling in this obstacle course, so that's why we're doing these kind of movements. Okay, so I can start by switching my foot like this, or I can do a jump switch. That's more advanced, more exhausting. By the way, for this one, it says rest as needed, so you can make this a continuous cardio circuit if you're really, really fit and you're wanting that killer cardio workout. Otherwise, you can just rest as needed. You can rest up to a minute in between each exercise if you feel like it. Okay, the next one's going to be some squat thrusters. I can definitely use dumbbells I'll actually show you on a band, but I can use a barbell as well. I want to keep this attached down low behind me, and then I'm going to do a full squat, good squat repetition, keeping my heel down, and then I'll press overhead, squat and press, squat and press. Don't love these with the band, especially if you're a taller person. Just make sure you're not going to snap that band if you're much higher than 6 feet tall. The third one is a deadlift high pull. The best thing, I can do it again with my band, but the best one would be a kettlebell. Straddle the kettlebell, have your hips back, shoulders forward, torso in a neutral position, and then I'm going to pull up. I'll extend my hips, use the momentum from your hips, and then I'll pull it up to collarbone height. So make sure when you're pulling up, you don't want to shrug when you pull up, you actually want to pull back and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Fourthly, I got some burpees. So I'm going to squat down, hands down, feet out, drop right down to the ground. I'll next do like a knee push up from here. Then I'll get my heels back down on the ground. I'll jump and clap again. And then flow through those burpees. 10 reps. Jumping pull-ups are next. And I don't have a pull-up machine in this room right here, but this is something that's really applicable for your obstacle course, because you're going to have to like pull yourself up, but you'll usually have momentum from your feet to do it. You can alternatively do a strict pull-up or a kipping pull-up on this period if you are confident with that movement, but otherwise try to set yourself up so that when you're holding onto the bar, you have a little bit of bend in your knee, and then you can jump yourself up and pull your arms up and get the bar to your collarbone or lower. Try to get not just your chin, you got to be able to pull a little bit further through. That's the key to success on all of those obstacles where you got to get over something. It's more than just here, you got to get to here. All right, and then the next one is some band lateral steps. And I actually don't have a great setup for this one either. I'll really quickly tie a loop in this band around my leg. But what I want to do is something like this where I tie a band, or if you have one of those ankle bands, that's even better. And I'm just going to work to step away under resistance. Keep a good stance with your hips back and your shoulders forward. And then this will really work the outside of your hips. With all the running you're doing, straight line running, this will help the lateral aspect of your legs and your hips stay healthy. Last one are some dip holds. Now the simplest way to do this is just to start with your hips down, shoulders back, kind of arch your chest, and start with heels down. And then I can just lift my hips up a little bit. If I'm pretty good at it, I can lift all the way up. Even better if I can raise my hands up and actually suspend my body in the dip hold position. And I can either hold that for 10 seconds, or I can, if I have access to a good dip machine, I can just do repetitions for 10 seconds.